I'm Sanyin Siang, and I write the Coaching for the Future Forward Leader column in MIT Sloan Management Review. And in 2023, I was inducted into the Thinkers 50 Coaching Hall of Fame. I want to draw on my experiences working with top CEOs and leaders, answer your questions, and help prepare you to be the best leader that you can be. Now, the question that we're going to address today is, we are being hit with events in our industry that we have never anticipated, plus hype around new technologies. How can I, as a leader, ground my thinking as we go into another strategic planning cycle with so many unknowns? So many of us were blindsided 5 years ago by the global pandemic, and it brought home the fact that you can't predict the future. Uncertainty has increased, and so has the rate of change. And that rapid change can make it really hard for us to get our bearings in the present. So first, acknowledge that as a leader, you get to live in that uncomfortable space that are never going to get comfortable. So embrace that uncertainty. You will be a better leader for admitting to the limits of your knowledge and to also the limits of risk management and the limits of thinking about predictions for what can happen based purely on past data. Past data we've seen has not always served us well. For example, Western North Carolina in the United States was considered a climate haven. And yet, this past fall, it suffered catastrophic consequences from unanticipated flooding due to Hurricane Helene. So instead of relying purely on probabilities, we need to be imaginative and have this curiosity for the what ifs. Here's your best bet. Lean into horizon scanning practices and sense-making practices that draw on diverse points of view for what could happen and for preparing for unforeseen events and opportunities that arise. Start really listening for what's happening close to home by doubling down on the people in your organization and empowering them to share perspectives from the diverse experiences and backgrounds. They have access to data that no one else sees because of their unique experiences and from the seat from which they sit. Remember, the higher up you go in an organization, the more filtered that information is going to be by the time it reaches you, the decision maker. So you as a leader have to create and sustain ways for that information from across and throughout the ranks to be able to reach you. So what are some of the ways that you can do this? Several of the CEOs that I've worked with send out a regular email, blog, or video to share a source of inspiration, a key issue that they're wrestling with, or a win to celebrate. But here's what they also do. They also include a well-framed prompt at the end that invites employees to share their thoughts. Here's where you can explicitly ask people to tell you something that you don't know that they think you should. Expressing humility in this way and giving people the permission to tell you something that most would most likely keep to themselves creates a safe environment for people to respond with their perspectives, and at the same time reinforces the culture of shared ownership throughout the company for the company's success. Other leaders I've worked with also incorporate a regular meal meetup with new employees and those from different levels and parts of the organization. These rituals, yes, and they're rituals because they are acts that are infused with intention and meaning. These rituals of breaking bread together lower walls and allow participants to spend time getting to know each other and you as human beings. You as a leader can also use events like this as an opportunity to probe for employees' feedback on strategic direction, customer segments that may be underserved, or opportunities that could be pursued. Another practice that can help shake up thinking and stimulate imagination about possible futures is what's called by the military as a red teaming exercise. One company that I know did this when it was rising to the top of its industry. But in order to build for the unpredictable future, it had to imagine how it might be disrupted. So it created a team of 12 executives drawn from strategy, marketing, tech, and finance, and of different ranks and tenure. and gave them 2 months to imagine a company that could beat them in the market in 10 years. Imagining a startup gave the team the freedom to think in ways that's unencumbered by the current company's assumptions, legacies, and ways of doing. The team's work yielded insight into more than possible future risks and opportunities, and after 5 years, most of their predictions had materialized. Finally, remember that while you're embracing uncertainty, your goal here is not to get comfortable with uncertainty. You're not trying to turn the unknown into the known. Your aim with your team is to imagine the possible and then go create it together.